You were the pilot of, describe the plane, what type of plane?
It's a Cessna 210.
Okay, so wow, not every day you get to see someone land a plane on the middle of I-75.
Not every day you want to. Definitely not.
Talk to me about that experience. It's miraculous that your plane had, I was looking at video on YouTube, no damage. You obviously are healthy and seem safe, completely fine. What was that like? Oh, we lost you again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody just dialing in there. See if I'm coming back here. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, I mean, kind of miraculous. There's no damage to the plane and you're obviously healthy, which is the number one thing. You seem perfectly fine. Talk to me about, where things started in the morning. I know you left Jupiter, right?
Yeah, we were headed from Jupiter down to Key West. I had a little marina job to do down there, and it was a perfect day for flying. We were really just kind of remarking on how well the plane was flying and handling, and all of a sudden, just at once started to run very rough. Sounded kind of like fuel related. We went to troubleshoot. A friend of mine was in the plane with me. We told air traffic control what was going on, and we tried to. Sorry about that.
It's
The
okay.
people keep going in there. You want me to start again? Sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So
So
when we were
what
flying,
started
yeah,
happening? Yeah, you were flying. Everything was fine, and then what started to happen?
yeah. So we were flying 4,500 feet, and the engine started to run really, really rough, kind of all of at once. And we started troubleshooting, just checking we switched the fuel tanks. We put the fuel pump on. That just made it worse. We adjusted the mixture. We just basically went up and down and troubleshoot everything we could, and nothing was making it better. We were losing altitude pretty quick. We radioed air traffic control that we were going to try to make it to Fort Lauderdale Executive, which was 20 miles away. And it became apparent really quickly that we were going to have to either set it down in the Everglades or we looked over at I-75 as another option. The traffic didn't seem too bad. So we went and we kind of paralleled it while we still tried to just get it going to try to get the altitude back. But, the more it just got worse and worse. And finally we went ahead and made the decision that we would try to land, because we had toll booths and we had, signs and all kinds of things coming up, tree stands. And so we had to find a spot that we knew while we still had power that we could get it down. So I just, I went down and I just kind of flew real low, buzzed one of the cars, just to get a gap in the road, just to let him know that I was there. And as expected, he hit the brakes pretty hard and everybody backed off, and it just gave us a good clear spot. And then we just got on the brakes really hard before we came up to the stand of trees there. So we got pretty lucky that we had a good spot. We were, hoping we didn't have to ditch it in the Everglades.
Wow.
But
I,
it was.
I assume that it takes a pretty experienced pilot to pull something off like you did.
Well, I think every pilot in their private pilot training is always taught, what to do in case of emergency. The first thing you do is you try to figure out what your options are. Dial up the closest airport. Look around the plane, pick a spot to land. Once you have it all sorted out, then you try to troubleshoot the plane that you can get on the ground safely. Then you try to figure out what's causing it. There's basically a checklist you go through of emergency procedures to try to get the engine working correctly again. And when all else fails, then you don't really have a whole lot of choice. If you're going down, you're going down. You just try to find a place to either land it in a field or something like that. And in this case, the traffic was spread out enough that I think it was a safe option that we had, and we were lucky that it was kind of as open as it was.
Yeah, were cars, you said, were cars moving out of the way for you guys, or they kind of?
Yeah, really, as I came in from behind them, I'm going much faster than they are. So they didn't really know I was there. And then it was going to be close with one car. And so, I just kind of put the nose down, went over the top of him so he could see me. And as soon as I went past him, he immediately slowed down, and that opened up the road for me to get on the ground.
Wow. Are you shaken up at all, or still kind of letting everything sink in?
No, it's one of those things that you kind of train for. My instructor was he was in the Coast Guard, and he actually had the engine out landing in the same type of airplane in the mountains, and another time in really bad instrument conditions, popped out of the clouds with a blown engine. So every time we flew, literally every time we flew, at some point when we were probably at the hardest point of the flight, he would boom, the end plate, it just blew up, engine just blew out. What are you gonna do? And it was always the same thing. So it was kind of ingrained in me. It's just disappointing. It's a good airplane. I just had it out of the annual. We just had the fuel system all overhauled, everything good. Everything's low hours on the engine. That kind of stuff doesn't happen very often. So it's got to be some kind of a mechanical issue that they'll probably find and solve in short order.
So this is your personal plane. You use it as you see fit. How long have you been flying with it or flying in general?
I got my license 2001, I believe. We do a lot of work in the Bahamas and the Caribbean, and we use it for work to get to just to get to the different islands and after some of the hurricane recovery, we go down there and use it back and forth. Key West is a 5-hour drive or an hour plane ride, so it's definitely a good tool to have for the company.
Yeah, and what kind of work do you do?
I'm an engineer, so I design marinas. I do dredging, hydrographic surveying. We do shipwreck hunting, offshore, that kind of stuff. So keeps us pretty busy all throughout Florida and the Southeast.
I bet. And you are from Jupiter? You live in Jupiter?
Yeah, I live in Jupiter. Been up there for about 4 years now. Great place to live.
Okay, awesome. Well, I didn't see the video of you landing. I don't know if you have video of that or if someone has video of.
I'm sure someone in a car has video somewhere. But I was a little too busy to take video at the time. I wasn't thinking much about that.
Oh, the footage that I saw from the scene of your plane, it looks incredible just how well it's just there, as if it was supposed to be there all along. But of course.
Yeah, no, we're lucky. We live in Florida. It's pretty flat. We don't have mountains. We don't have forests. So we are lucky, and it is forgiving when things go bad. But it definitely. We're happy to be. We rented a car. We're driving to Key West now. It's kind of sad.
Kind of sad, but lucky that you guys are both you and your friend both safe, and obviously the plane I'm sure you'll get it fixed somehow.
Yeah, we're definitely happy to be safe. Definitely big apologies to all the people that got delayed. They had to shut the interstate down to load the thing on the tow truck. That made me very kind of sad, but they wouldn't let me take back off on the road once they fix it. They said it has to be disassembled and put on a tow truck.
Gotcha. Well, anything else that you'd like to say that I didn't ask you that you think is important or you want to share with our viewers?
No, that's all. I just happy to be here. Thanks.
Thank you so much, David. I appreciate it.
Hey, nice meeting you. Take care.
Bye-bye. You too.
Bye.